Thank you for inviting me to speak at the 4th AI4IA conference. I will be talking about AI and technological sovereignty, specifically the appearance of new types of sovereignty as a result of the massive use of AI after COVID-19. This era is accompanied by an evolution on many levels, evolution of notions, new practices, and new phenomena. Thus, we see the appearance of spheres of authority and new forms of non-state political constitutions where big tech becomes more powerful than the state. This explains the competition between these two actors and their race to technological sovereignty. COVID-19 is like a Westphalian system, a remarkable step in history. It is accelerating the transition to a society based on the massive use of AI and the appearance of new notions such as digital sovereignty, cyberspace sovereignty, and technological sovereignty. The key questions that could guide us are: AI and new types of sovereignty, competition between states, recommended strategy. AI and new types sovereignty. The artificial intelligence era is characterized by new forms of sovereignty as data sovereignty, cyber sovereignty, and technological sovereignty. Data sovereignty means that the state is able to regulate, manage, and protect the data generated within or passing through their territories, and take measures towards effective regulation of data based on international law. Data sovereignty is important, especially with the increasing use of drones, which is a risk to privacy and security. There are currently 1.7 million drones registered in the US, and according to the World Intellectual Property Organization, the number of patents for drone technology is increasing by 34%. Drones facilitate access to data, and they are real privacy risks. They are a tool that can make surveillance easy for all government, companies, terrorists, and individuals. At least 143 countries have enacted some form of drone-related regulation. The use of drones by different actors for different reasons imposes new threats. That's why states need to rethink their legislation. International mechanisms are also needed to face the current and future challenges imposed by drones, considering future innovations in these fields. Ensuring privacy necessitates technical and legal protection and collaboration between lawmakers and developers. Cyberspace sovereignty. Cyber sovereignty means autonomy in cyberspace. In the same context, the United Nations governmental group of experts decided that international law, including state sovereignty, was applicable in cyberspace. The applicability of international law and state sovereignty to cyberspace was also confirmed by the Tallinn Manual on the international law applicable to cyber warfare. Technology sovereignty. Jacob Edler et al. Defined a technology sovereignty as the ability of a state or a federation of states to provide the technologies it deems critical for its welfare, competitiveness, and ability to act, and to be able to develop these or source them from other economic areas without one-sided structural dependency. Sovereignty in international public law means independence, which is now threatened by AI, which explains the importance of the extension of sovereignty to cyberspace. However, cyberspace sovereignty is conditioned by technological sovereignty, which is a large notion that refers to other types of sovereignty such as innovation and scientific sovereignty. Technological sovereignty refers to technology independence in all fields, politics, economy, and society. This means states should be able to choose their political and economic systems without any intervention or influence from other states, such as the use of AI to manipulate public opinion and to change election results. AI is influencing several sectors, including education, health services, and the labor market. Therefore, technological sovereignty depends on other types of sovereignty, for example, innovation and scientific sovereignty. Technological sovereignty is a condition to sovereignty as a principle of international law, and it's a key to other types of sovereignty. This explains the race and competition for AI and technological sovereignty. Competition between states for technological sovereignty could be illustrated using 3 criteria: AI and robotics investment, 5G technologies, and research and development in AI. Over the last 5 years, the US, Canada, the UK, Russia, Israel, China, India, and France were prioritizing AI, knowing that it is a key to growing their economies. The market for lethal autonomous robots is increasing exponentially, and unit prices are falling significantly. According to the Research and Markets, between 2022 and 2027, the global AI market is forecast to grow at a CAGR of 36.2% in 2027, and the global autonomous military weapons market is forecast to grow at a CAGR of 10.4% between 2022 and 2026. The top 5 competitors in the lethal autonomous weapons are the US, China, South Korea, and the European Union. China is leading in the 5G war. 50 companies are involved in this war, but behind them, we have states, especially China and the US. In this context, the commercial value of the Internet of Things is $12 billion and it's linked to 5G. Therefore, the game is not over. The 2020 ranking from the reveals that the US is leading in innovation. It's the third country after Switzerland and Sweden in the high-income group, while China is leading the upper-middle-income countries composed of Malaysia and Bulgaria. Competition for technological sovereignty is not limited to states. Transnational companies, especially big tech, are also competing with states and racing for technological sovereignty. They are monopolizing cyberspace by their innovation and important investment in the research and development of AI systems. IBM said, technological sovereignty should be based on presence, values, and trust, not the geographic location of the company. Codes are laws, but are they superior to the Constitution and international law? Codes must comply with local laws, including data privacy laws, considering attacks on freedom of speech as a universal value. Big tech founded their legitimacy on their occupation of cyberspace and on their contribution to internet governance, which is a cornerstone of global governance of AI. Their innovations ensure the use of cyberspace by all other actors. Therefore, cyberspace is an extension of the analog one, which means also an extension of all activities. New strategies are needed at different levels. AI strategies mean also strategic independence in the economy, society, and policy. Especially the protection of the democratic process from any foreign intervention using AI. Technological infrastructure is a key to ensuring strategic independence. The approach involves detection and analysis in a real time, even if several voices rejected the state's interventionism to defend technology sovereignty. In this context, UNESCO adopted the recommendation on ethics of AI. It has a roadmap that could guide member states considering the 10 policy areas based on international law. Even if the recommendation isn't a banned document, it's the first instrument in this field, and it could guide international society in AI governance based on ethics. AI governance by law and by the sovereignty of law. In conclusion, in the era of AI, new reforms are needed at different levels, considering the new identity of the international society with the emergence of new players, especially transnational corporations that have invested in AI more than in some states. Rethinking relations between states and transnational companies, especially big tech, and the reinforcement of collaboration between state academia and companies is an obligation rather than a choice.